When you want to understand someone's point of view, see mentally how they saw mentally. There are phrases that do not come from intention, effort, or choice. They appear in the mind like ancient echoes rising from a deeper layer of consciousness. They feel less like thoughts and more like keys. When such a sentence emerges, it carries the weight of something that wants to be understood. This is one of those cases. The idea that to understand someone's point of view, you must mentally see as they mentally saw, is not merely a reflection, it is a doorway. Human beings rarely respond to the world as it is. They respond to the world as it appears inside them. Every perception is shaped by memory, fear, longing, expectation, and the symbolic narratives each person carries. What we call perspective is not an angle, it is a whole inner landscape. You cannot understand someone by looking at a situation through your own internal sky. To see what they saw, you must enter their weather, their storms, their sunlight, their shadows. We live under the illusion that we see reality directly. Yet perception is an interpreter. It selects, filters, organizes, and transforms. Two people may witness the same event but experience different worlds. One sees threat, the other sees possibility. One sees loss, the other sees an opening. The event is the same, but the inner narrator is different. To understand the other, you must listen not only to their words, but to the narrator inside them that shaped those words. Inside every person, there is a silent storyteller built over years of experience. It defines what danger feels like, what love should be, what abandonment means, what joy awakens, and what rejection triggers. This narrator is not visible from the outside. It lives beneath gestures, beneath tone, beneath silence. To understand someone is to see the image that their inner narrator projected at the moment they reacted. This is where psychology, symbolism, and philosophy meet. Ancient thinkers used to say that no one steps into the same river twice because the river changes and so does the person stepping in. Perspective works the same way. If you look at the world through your own lens, you are not looking at the same river the other person saw. You are interpreting a reality that is yours, not theirs. The philosophical truth is that nothing is experienced objectively. Everything is filtered through perception, and perception is shaped by the symbolic architecture of the mind. To mentally see how someone mentally saw requires silence inside yourself. You must suspend your judgments, your automatic interpretations, and the emotional drafts your mind writes without your permission. Only then can you begin to perceive the emotional geometry of the other. This is not imagination in the childish sense. It is imagination as an instrument of empathy. A psychological tool, a symbolic discipline, a philosophical act of stepping outside the boundaries of your ego. Close your eyes and remember a moment of conflict. Now imagine not what you felt, but what the other person felt. Imagine the images that appeared in their mind. What memory was awakened? What insecurity vibrated beneath the surface? What wound responded before they could understand why? To see from within is to witness the invisible forces shaping the visible behavior. No one reacts to the external moment. People react to the internal meaning. Throughout symbolic traditions, this principle appears in different forms. In mythology, heroes defeat monsters that represent psychological shadows. In esoteric teachings, understanding someone is described as entering their symbol. In ancient philosophy, wisdom is the ability to step beyond one's own viewpoint. And in psychology, this practice is known as reconstructive empathy, the art of perceiving another person's internal narrative instead of forcing your own interpretation onto them. The reason so many conflicts continue endlessly is simple. People defend their personal narratives as if they were absolute truth. But there is no absolute truth in perception, only subjective truth shaped by inner worlds. Reality is filtered through memory. Memory is shaped by story. Story is governed by symbolism, and symbolism is the language of the unconscious. To understand someone truly, you must read the symbols beneath their reaction. When you learn to see from another's inner perspective, something profound happens. Judgment weakens, compassion expands, understanding deepens. You stop reacting to the surface and begin perceiving the roots. You become capable of recognizing pain disguised as anger, fear disguised as silence, confusion disguised as resistance. You learn that every reaction has an invisible origin, and that origin almost always makes sense once you witness it. This shift transforms relationships. Conversations become less about winning and more about understanding. Arguments lose their venom. Emotional distance begins to close. You stop assuming and start perceiving. And slowly you realize that one of the highest forms of wisdom is the ability to step out of your own narrative long enough to enter the narrative of another. The phrase that came to you is not random. It is a psychological key, a symbolic teaching, and a philosophical truth woven into one line. It is a reminder that perception is not external, it is internal. Understanding does not happen from the outside in, it happens from the inside out. To see mentally as someone saw mentally is to step into the architecture of their mind for a moment and witness the world as their heart shaped it. When you do this, you stop asking why they reacted and start understanding how they experienced. The question changes, the perspective expands, and you begin to realize that every human being carries a world inside them, and unless you enter that world, you will never truly meet the person standing in front of you. This is the invisible doorway that transforms perception into wisdom.